I'm like, oh no, he's the one that God is wanting me to help.
We were really good friends. We would laugh. We would have such a good time together, but we were always only just friends. And all of a sudden, it was like a light bulb clicked on. And I was like, what about Karina?
Like, he literally made you into the man that I was praying for.
I just wanna live, I just wanna live. I just wanna live, I just wanna live. I just wanna live, I just wanna live life upside down.
So here we go. Another rendition of Life Upside Down, where we're telling real stories of broken people that point to a living God. And Karina, we're about to get to a story that I love. It's so much fun. We're going to have a lot of fun on this one, aren't we?
Yes, we shared my story. So if you haven't heard mine, episode 2, kind of where I come from, kind of my background, I'll give you a better idea. And then Ryan's story. So Ryan's story is episode 1 if you haven't heard it yet. And now this is how these two people from two different worlds came together.
Yeah. So I think to get it started, I want you to explain how you ended up where you ended up in terms of where we met.
Okay, so where we met?
Yeah.
All right, so I was 16 years old. I'm, doing high school sports. I'm trying to earn money now to pay for everything. So I'm looking for a job, my first job. Well, I did detasseling, but I feel like that doesn't officially
everyone
count.
Did that. I made like $3 an hour, I think. When I did that.
So I'm looking for a job. I'm applying at the mall because the mall is a cool place.
Oh,
Everyone wanted to work at the mall at the time.
And now that mall's dead, unfortunately.
Yeah. And so, I mean, when it mattered to like look professional and like how you present yourself, you have to like walk the application and introduce yourself. So, I mean, I was doing everything the right way and no one was calling me. I was getting so frustrated, so discouraged. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on? So finally, I think I just realized, oh, I get it. Like, okay, this isn't about me. I'm supposed to go work where God needs me to go work. I'm supposed to go preach to someone who needs God or seeking him.
Boy, do they.
And so then I'm like, okay. So I do this prayer. All right, Lord, just send me where you want me to.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be the mall. My twitches doesn't have to be the mall. Just send me where you want. And then I got a call from Shopko,
there you go.
Which I was okay. I was like, okay, it's not a fast food restaurant that when you're playing sports, and I don't have the best self-control.
Did you apply at McDonald's or something?
McDonald's, yeah. I think even like Sonic. I was just me and self-control with like the McFlurries and the ice. I just it wouldn't go well with my soccer life I was trying to pursue. Yeah. Anyways, so Shopko calls me, and then I was excited, everything, and I think I worked on, like, the GM sales floor, like, where all the houseware and all that stuff.
Get your gun on your hip?
My little scanner.
Scanner gun.
But, so anyway, so finally they call me, and then I remember just being like, okay, aside from being excited and learning the job, I'm like, there's someone here who I'm supposed to keep an eye out for. Someone's here who is, like, intentionally seeking God.
Who was it? Do you know?
We'll find out. So... there was a day where there was like shipment was late. And so they asked everyone in all departments to stay after closing and help unload shipment.
All hands on deck.
And I think that day I probably got home closer to 11, which is pretty late on a school day. But that's how there was a lot. So everyone's in the back helping unload shipment. And when you pop someone's back, like where you stand up and, I asked everyone, like, who knows how to pop backs? Because my back was hurting. And then there was this character who made a comment.
This character, huh?
Yeah. Do you know what this character said?
I think I have an idea. In steps this character, this handsome young man. It was me, just so you know. I was about 18 years old.
Never talked to him before.
Had yet to talk to Karina. We had worked, so I was working.
I saw you a couple times walking, but
I was working at Shopko as well, and I hadn't talked to her yet. So she asked about popping backs, and the first words out of my mouth to Karina were, "If you lay on the floor naked, I'll pop your back."
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's how it got started. That's how this beautiful relationship began.
Anyways, I'm once again this innocent girl who's pure, waiting till marriage. Probably didn't have my first kiss yet. I'm brown and I'm red as can be, which is rare. That tells you how embarrassed I was. And like all the guys are laughing and I felt so disrespected. And I'm just like, no thanks, tool bag. And I'm not a mean person. So for me to say that.
If you heard my story.
And that was like probably me like.
It was
probably
true.
trying to cuss at you, but I wasn't. But I was so mad. I felt so disrespected, like a piece of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so I was like, no thanks, tool bag. And then that same day, I remember everyone's walking back to like clock out and get their stuff. And once again, like, you know, you guys hear my story, but like this is new to me, but I like feel like the Lord like says, that's your husband.
But me? He told you I was your husband?
That's your husband. And I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, it's late. I'm tired. I'm freaking thinking crazy things because I'm like, no, I wasn't even willing to accept that or play with that idea. Like you just said the stupidest thing. So I'm like, no way.
God is funny, isn't he?
So I was like, I'm tired. I literally shook my head, brushed it off, got my stuff left. And then never intended to like talk to you. But there was a day that I was working with this other coworker and we're kind of straightening the aisles and he's talking about his girlfriend and he's talking about like sex and his favorite position. I don't know why, but he is. And he like asked me, what's your favorite position? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never done that. And he starts to make fun of me. And he's like, what? And he just starts like, yeah, but then Ryan comes along pretending like he's working, pretending to scan things, but he wasn't.
Ethic, so yeah.
And he pulls Ryan in, hey, dude, this girl, she's never had sex before. And he tried to have you join him on making fun of me.
He tried to pull me into the joke, and I was, surprisingly, I was like, hey, man, that's her choice. Just let her be, leave her alone. And so I remember after that, though, I was curious because I didn't know that was possible.
Ryan
that
saw
you could
ghost. He's like,
you can save yourself? Okay.
You don't have to sleep around? Yeah.
So I go to Karina. I'm like, so why are you? Like, what is, I was just curious. So then you started telling me about your faith.
It's my faith. Yeah. It's between me and God. And I don't even think, I think honestly, like just in high school, people almost like thought I was doing it as this like prideful thing. Like, oh, I'm better than that. Like kind of like a snob.
Yeah.
It was hard. Like, no way. There's no way that wasn't even a good enough reason for me to do that. It was legitimately just for me and God. Like I wanted to honor him, you know? And so I'm like, oh, like it's my faith. And so Ryan starts to like ask all these questions and it clicked. I'm like, oh no, he's the one that God is wanting me to help.
You know, hold on real quick. So on our set here, we got Jonah and the whale right behind you. So I was kind of like your Nineveh. We were like, oh no, God's sending me to Ryan.
Yeah, no, okay. I was, and it's just, and it's that, I think that just shows you his character. He's such a funny God.
Yeah, ironic,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, really? The guy, like you, like the guy who made this comment, and I have these feelings towards him, you are making us like work together in this way. You know what I mean? And so finally, you know, but I'm not going to say no. And honestly, I feel like I could tell that you just had so many questions. And like, I think you even shared with me you had a dream about hell. Like,
yes,
you woke up from this horrible, but you were like, as you were telling me this dream, you had legitimate anxiety. I could tell that you were like,
yeah, I was going to say that was around the time, if you listen to my story, I was doing drugs and stuff a lot. And
that'll give you scary dreams.
Yeah. And so I remember I had this dream and I can see it right now. Like I was convinced I was in hell. And I actually just heard someone yesterday sharing a very similar testimony where they're like, they were in hell and they're like, I'm never waking up. And it was terrifying. And then I woke up and I just remember like in cold sweats and just like for a month, I was like paranoid about just spiritual things and am I going to hell? So then around that time is when I started meeting you. So then I was starting to ask you like, yeah, what about hell? What about this stuff? Just started asking you a lot of questions about your faith.
Yeah. So we started to like hang out, like it was more like just at work or like we'd go get lunch together and it was always just
Burger King dates. Not dates, but
Shopko is like across the street from Burger King, but
oh yeah.
Every time we hung out we're just talking about God or you had questions and I feel like we had nothing in common other than that. Like
Yeah.
Even like our friends and our group of friends, clearly your friends were just...
My friends were winners.
Out of my league.
Yeah.
But like, so we have nothing in common and just two different people. But Jesus was the only thing that like the interest that we both had. The interest,
I was curious for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, there were times where you would even just ask to like catch up, and it was almost like you were trying to like disprove.
Oh yeah.
You would challenge me and try to have debates.
I remember I invited you to Applebee's one time, and I got at one point because of the drugs.
You invited me.
I got into this like crazy conspiracies, like Jesus and apes and aliens, like just to give you a picture of it. So I invited you, and then I'm like, no aliens, and it's not about God, and I was trying to disprove it. And then I ate your food too.
I know. Ryan didn't order anything. I ordered for two though.
Because you know me.
Knowing you were gonna eat it. Yeah. So I ordered like 20 wings and you ate
I still
more than 10. Yeah. So that was our friendship. And then there was even a time that I invited you to church camp.
That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was so crazy that I went. Yeah. I think it was last minute. I think I had a week. I was always broke too, so I didn't have a lot of money.
And do you remember how
I had to pay for it? I paid to go.
You did, which was...
That's crazy.
But this is...
I'm a cheapo.
This is why you paid for it. I told you there was a lot of pretty girls there.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And Ryan was sold.
Yeah, I was sold. Oh, I guess I'll go.
And it was... I mean, no, there was pretty girls, but like, I think I painted this idea of what kind of girls, and it wasn't that kind of girls.
Young 13, 14-year-olds.
No, there was old. I mean, there was people our age. I mean, it was like a mix. But I think you had this idea of like, I don't know, high school, like all young adult. I don't know.
Like spring break girls or something. I don't know.
But you actually enjoyed it.
I did,
because it kind of pulled you away from all distractions, all your friends, and you got to experience like this one-on-one time with God.
That's the hard part about like influences. And sometimes it's hard for us to like remove ourselves from those because they become so comfortable. We know them. I've been friends with them since I was in elementary school or middle school, and it becomes hard for us to detangle ourselves from that sometimes. And so I remember like getting away for a week. I think it was like 5 or 6 days, and like away from my girlfriend and my friends, and
there's no phone connection,
no
so no
stuff
cell
like
phone.
That. No cell phone.
You're just in nature. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was good. It was good for my soul. And I remember a moment that was kind of impactful. It was like they did an altar call, and then they're like, if you want to give your life to Jesus, let us know. So I was like, here's the thing. I was in a pretty dark place, like in my life, I think, even though I was trying to convince myself I was happy and having fun or whatever. I knew deep inside I was making bad decisions and all that. So I knew I needed a change, but I didn't quite understand what exactly that change needed to look like. Mm-hmm. And so I went and I'm like, sure, I'll give my life to Jesus. Like maybe that'll make my life better. And I go out and the pastor's like, all right, say these words. I say the words. And then he's like, all right. And I remember like it was really awkward. I was just sitting there like, okay, now what? Like what? Nothing happened. Nothing came down from the sky. And then it just never clicked. Like it didn't quite click. But that being said, I went home for a week and I tried to do the good stuff. Like I wasn't going to listen to bad music. I was only going to do this. So it was very works-based because I still didn't have an understanding, like I talk about in my story, of how Jesus, filled the gap between us and God. And so I was like, I'm going to work my way. I'm going to be a good person. That lasted about a week, had the same girlfriend, same friends, same stuff. And so yeah, that was kind of how that experience went.
Yeah, and I think that was maybe my junior year.
Was it? Yeah.
At this point, you had already moved to Lincoln. And honestly, I thought our friendship was kind of going to end there. Because,
when I moved to Lincoln, yeah.
Well, now it's like, at least we had work where we met. Because like I said, we never really hung out.
Even though we would talk, yeah.
Yeah, and then you would only text me or stay in communication with me when you were, trying to be a good person. But as soon as you were doing drugs or sex, I would never hear from you, for a long period of time. Yeah. And I knew you were living in your
it's like
your ways. That's why you were ashamed to text me.
Yeah, and it's I think that I was just convicted. Here's the thing. I think I really respected your friendship. I respected you as a person. I was probably man, I wish I could be a good person like her, right?
And I never made you feel like
no,
you had
didn't.
to be a
that's
good
the
person,
thing.
right?
So that's the thing. Yeah, make sure I make that clear. Like, it was never your personality. It was never anything you said. You were such a great witness for me when we were friends, but it's my own conviction, my own like shameful, feelings that I would pull away. And now that I'm a believer, I see people do that to me sometimes too.
Yeah,
it's like
when people
they feel convicted or they think like they can't cuss around me.
They'll cuss and like, oh,
and it's like, it's okay. Like I've heard it.
And I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's fine.
So anyway, So I want to say in 2011, that's when I ended up in Lincoln. And you ended up at UNK.
I went to Karina,
Yeah, and again, we explained all those pieces of our story in our own
so I kind of went in depth with that, but like in Karina, something happened with my family and I like renounced my faith. So I was not walking with Jesus. I wasn't like doing this Christian life anymore, which was a first for me. You started in middle school, I started in college, but like I was intentionally doing this to like almost get back at God, but so I'm not really this good Christian friend anymore.
And I'm also not.
You're still you.
A good person.
I'm still Ryan. Started hearing that I'm partying and doing stuff now.
Yeah, which I was like, that's kind of weird. We
People
even have a picture of us like when we I took a shot with you.
We went to we took a shot.
That
together.
was
That's
weird.
Really
I was like, Karina, I
forgot about that.
Right?
That's so bad.
Yes.
I think you felt guilty for that. I think you were like, oh,
I'm like,
Karina.
what am I doing to her? Yeah. Anyway, I was in Lincoln in 2011. The fall of 2011. That's when I moved to Lincoln, and I was just in my sin, completely immersed. You're in Kearney, and I remember this conversation that we had on the phone. You remember when you told me something?
Well, you called me to tell me about how you were going to sell everything and go discover yourself.
Yep, that's right.
Yes. And I think I told you that's a really dumb idea. But I said it's still really like,
you're
really
so dumb,
nice.
Ryan, but it's okay.
I said, that's really dumb, but okay, good luck. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like push you off and hurt your feelings. I don't know how sensitive you were.
Yeah.
But anyways, I remember, I'm not walking with God. I haven't prayed. I haven't like, and so I'm just talking to you just like a friend, nothing about God anymore. And I remember feeling this like, once again, like God speak to me, which was so weird. It was really rare for me now.
Because you weren't even seeking it.
No. And I was so like full of shame because of this new lifestyle that like, I didn't even think that was possible anymore.
Yeah.
Like God couldn't do that to me no more. I'm bad.
Yep.
And it was, here's the thing though, he didn't speak to me. He showed me something. And I feel like I'm really hesitant to say like, I had a vision. It's really hard because I've just experienced people like almost abusing that or like misunderstand that. So I had this very clear image in my head. And in this image, you were on a stage with a microphone speaking. I mean, you were wearing like a plaid shirt. Like, I could tell you how you looked. And it's like if I was looking from behind the curtains. So I'm seeing your back. And then I see all the lights where like I can't see exact faces in the audience, but I could see like the shape of their heads and stuff. And it was a lot of like young adults and just like people, but it was a huge crowd and you were speaking. And then I heard him tell me that he was going to use you for him. But in that moment, like I said, like in my mind was like, I thought it meant you were going to be a youth pastor. I never like knew there was like other platforms where you could be speaking, but I was like, I think you're going to be a youth pastor or something because I just saw you speaking on a microphone and there's a bunch of people. So like, and I was like, and I don't know why I'm telling you this. I almost didn't tell you because one, I'm like, I'm not worthy of this. But two, it's like, oh, he's not the person for me to tell this to. Like, I'm like, and I was wrestling with it in my head, like, oh no, he's gonna think I'm weird. I don't want to tell him that. You tell him that. Like,
you tell him that he is through you.
And so I finally told you because I felt this like, I don't want to be responsible, And so I was like, hey, I feel like I have to tell you this. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I feel like I have to, and you do whatever you want with it. And I told you.
And I was like,
and you were quiet for a while, and you're like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but thanks.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Hey, I hope that you are enjoying this episode. I just wanted to come in real quick and let you know that we are a nonprofit podcast that is made possible largely by donations. If you have been encouraged by anything you've heard here on Life Upside Down and you feel led to give, you can click the QR code and head over to our giving page. We truly want to say thank you so much. Every gift makes it possible for us to continue to tell more people about our living God. It's so interesting. Around that time too, my friend's mom was always trying to get us to go to church with her too. So it's like, again, like, you know, the story of Jonah, right? Jonah and the whale. It's like he's running away from God and God pursues. He pursues us, you know what I mean? And so I feel like he was definitely pursuing me. Here's the other crazy thing. I was writing lyrics a lot when I was in Lincoln, or I was writing poetry. I guess I would call it poetry. And when I ended up getting saved a year later and started writing music, I actually used some of what I wrote then. So it's almost like God was stirring in me and I was learning things about the world, but I didn't necessarily understand that they were like Christian things. You know what I'm saying? So he was definitely pursuing you and he used you to try to pursue me. I didn't take it. I just kept doing what I was doing.
You're like, Karina had too many shots.
Yeah, Karina's drinking too much. She's an alkie now. But anyway.
No, definitely not. But okay, so there's that. And then I talked about this too. So I had left to New York to remove myself away from the influences, to just figure myself out. I guess I technically took your advice and.
So you did an internship in New York.
Yeah. Like kind of like you want to hitchhike the world to find yourself. I went to New York to find myself.
I never thought about that.
And so anyway, so I went and then and I encountered God in this whole. I mean, I've encountered God before, but he showed me like physical things and I was like, whoa, kind of like the Red Sea splitting. You know, he filled my tank of gas before my eyes when I was in a very desperate, scary situation. So anyways, he just showed me again, like, hey, I'm still here. I've never left. Because I'm over here like,
so good.
I'm not worthy. I messed up. I dropped the ball this time. And he's like, no, I'm still here. I'm still God. And you're still not worthy just like you weren't. It's me. It's not about us. It's about him. And so he showed me this whole thing. And so I'm on my way back home from New York. And you randomly, like we haven't talked in a while.
Wow.
Once again, you're probably doing your thing. But you call me randomly on my way home. And you're like, hey, what's up? I'm like, oh, I'm just heading home from New York.
Yes.
And you're like, what are you doing in New York? Anyway, and then we start talking, you know.
And then I'm pretty sure I was saved at that point, right?
Oh, gosh,
I think so. I think so.
No, you were. No, you did.
That's when I got saved.
That's when you were telling me the news that you were saved.
Yes.
But here's the thing. I was very hesitant to like.
Believe it.
Well, I was also at camp when you got saved.
Well.
And we still don't know if that was the real, you know what I mean? Yeah. But like, I was your friend through it all where like I saw you always change your mind and have different feelings. And so I was like excited for you. You sounded legit. I mean, you're saying things. You're actually reading your Bible.
And I kind of sounded like I had some wisdom. I remember one of my friends at that time, like when I first got saved, like I talked about in my story, the Spirit just fell on me. And I feel like I was actually wise about things that I normally wasn't. And one of my friends was like, dude, you're like really wise now. And I was like, really? Okay. Because I've always been kind of known as the goofball. I still am. I'm like an airhead sometimes and things go over my head. But like, it was weird. Like I was different, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, you were saying things. I mean, I think this was the first time I heard you were reading the Bible. You were saying some things that you've never said before. So I was more lenient like you actually did, but I was just very skeptical, cautious and like, okay, we'll see, I guess. I'll see him by his fruits in his life, right? But we're both in this new journey almost because I'm also in this journey in a way where like I was doing Christianity by like my works and I was becoming the Christian that everybody wanted me to be. And God had like broke me down to like zero. And was like, we're just going to do this all over, you and me. Just, you know, so I was almost rebuilding my new personal faith.
It's just real quick. It's interesting. I've never really thought of this, but it's like, it feels like God was working in both of us at the same time in a very powerful way. And as we're going to get into here in a minute, like, you know, just bringing us together at just the right time.
Yeah, you were in the like midlife crisis in Lincoln and I was too in Kearney. So it's just weird. weird time. So anyway, so I'm excited. I was like, dude, finally. It's been 3 years,
Finally.
And I'm sharing with you too kind of what God's doing. So I'm excited for you. And now I think I was 19, gonna be 20. You're 2 years older than me. Yeah. So aside from our friendship, I was also in this relationship for almost 5 years, on and off. It was one of those relationships that when it started, it was good and it the intentions were great and it definitely could have been something good, but I think it just totally went the opposite direction and it became very unhealthy, very toxic, and so like I said, on and off.
Yeah.
And I think by now 4 or 5 years, once you invest so much time and feelings, it's hard to let go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like now we're just doing it because we're just used to each other. You know what I mean? Why we're continuing it.
I experienced that in high school and as well, yeah.
It's hard to throw away. You'd have friends move on or stop. And it's but 4 years, you can't just let go of 4 years. And here's the thing too, it's I already had this future made up in my head.
You like planning,
you can't, and I like planning. Yeah. I like to have a plan, and you can't tell me to throw away my 10-year plan. That's, and so anyways, I was at a place where I was longing for a serious relationship. I just wanted it, and I don't know if part of it is because like I said, I didn't have my parents anymore. So I don't know if it's just a companionship or I don't know.
For sure.
But I longed for it. But I also feared marriage so much because my parents were divorced. I saw my sister and friends, I had friends who were single moms who guys come and say all the right things until they get what they want. And then you're just left there. And so I'm okay, I don't want that, and I'm just the kind of person that I always told myself, if I get married, I'm going to commit, I'm not going to, especially if there's kids, I'm not going to be, you know what I mean, divorcing, unless it was a really bad, life-threatening situation. But I just was I don't want to get married with the wrong person. It just terrified me. So this person that I was dating at the time, he had convinced me that I was a problem and I was just scared of commitment. It's clear, it's all there, it's such a God thing. It's just you who's holding it up. You are keeping this from happening, and you're and I was like I said, I was scared of doing it wrong, right? Yeah. So there was some truth, but that wasn't entirely true. And so I was you're right, okay, let's get married. So I was gonna get married right away too. I had some of his people call me, super excited. I called my best friend saying, hey, would you be a maid of honor? It was a real thing. And I was such a people pleaser that I would go through this. There could be so many red flags and I would still go through with it because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. That's how.
Yeah.
So dumb. But that's who I was. So anyway, so then I call you.
Yes, this is the fun part.
And I'm you're my best guy friend. The only guy friend I had, really, right? And I was hey, Ryan, so I'm going to get married. And I was yeah, it's going to probably happen here soon, in a month or so. Those Christian guys. Yeah. They don't want to waste time.
That's
so anyway, so I'm well, I want you in my wedding as a groomsman. And then you are
yes. Well, let me preface this before we get to what happened. So at this point, I'm just starting to spend a lot of time with God, just in prayer, really asking God, what do you want with my life? And Karina, you and I had reconnected at this point, and we were just friends. Truly,
only
it was
friends.
We had never, ever, ever at any point in our friendship, expressed any kind of any kind of
no flirting, no interest,
nothing, absolutely nothing. And so I remember 2 or 3 days before we had this conversation, and it's so crazy because I actually found the paper. So I was taking a lot of journaling notes at this point, and I just found it last week where I was writing, and it said, I feel like God is starting to show me that me and Karina are going to get married. And so, and you have no idea about this. So And I just think it's so funny because it came from this, it was me reasoning. Okay. So here was my reasoning. When I first got saved, as I talked about, God showed me that love is a choice. It's action. It's something you do. It's not a feeling. Okay. So I'm like, okay. The next thing is that in marriage, Christ is the most important thing. That's one thing I understood. So it's like when you're married, you both need to be like devoted to Christ. That's so important. And the third thing that I knew was that me and you were compatible. We were really good friends. We would laugh. We would have such a good time together, but we were always only just friends. So I had those three things and I was reasoning, and all of a sudden it was like a light bulb clicked on. And I was like, what about Karina? And then all of a sudden you told me I started liking.
I started getting Facebook likes on my pictures.
Likes. I probably poked you a few times on Facebook.
It's like, that was an accident. That wasn't intentional.
No, anyway. So then this conversation comes up. She calls me and she's like, hey, I'm getting married. And then she asked me, will you be in my wedding as a groomsman? And
the first thing you say is like...
Hold on, what?
What was the first thing you said, though?
The first thing I said is, well, what if we had the same wedding?
This is how like we've never... When he says that, I'm thinking he reconciled with his daughter's mom, and they're, because I was also there for that, like trying to help you guys. But I'm like, oh, like he's saying like they want to get married and like we get married and we have two weddings in one. That's how like it would never occur to me.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, well, and I'm trying to be nice still, so I'm like, well,
you're an idiot.
Let me talk to him because it's not just my wedding, and
here's
I'll get
a secret.
back to
when her
you.
voice goes, well, when it gets high pitched, it means she's lying. So anyway, so then I said, no, what if you and me got married?
Oh,
that was the first way that I brought up I might be attracted to you.
My brain is like my mind is blown, and I was like,
oh my gosh, I was
like
crazy.
I was in shock and like mad because I'm like, why are you doing this now? And like, and it's so random, so weird, and I'm also like, I hope you're not trying to play me, and like you think
because you were there for all the.
I almost thought like you like you're considering like me being another girl that you're gonna mess with. Like,
oh, you thought I was messing with you? I really wasn't.
I mean, that could be. I'm like, I'm not gonna be another girl that you.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you were there for all of that.
Yeah.
For all the girls.
So that was scary, Yeah. But I'm like, why now? Like, it took me so long to like to be willing to take this jump, and you just like screwed it.
I'm crazy.
So
it was
like,
God though. Don't you blame me?
Okay, so now I have all these mixed feelings. At first, I feel like I was like completely like absolutely not. No, I even told you like, no, I don't really feel that way.
You did the high pitch, yeah.
I was like, I don't really feel that way, and like, but it's still a thing. Like,
yeah, it's
like here's the thing. I think you like the fact that you said, well, I think God is. You just saying that is what made me even like. I don't know. I didn't even like try to consider it, but it was still in the back of my mind. If you said anything other than God, I would have been like, no. And like I probably would have not talked to you anymore, like weird. Like I would have probably put you in this like friend zone, like with the other guys who are friends who like have crushes on you and you're trying to keep them there.
Trying to be nice, but not too nice.
There. Yeah. But you said God, and so that's like, now I'm like questioning, like what? Because like I said, I want to do God's will. I've been praying for my husband since 14. I had a list, and like I kept it in my Bible. I kept it in my Bible, and like number one was like he's gonna love the Lord with all his heart, mind, and soul. Because if he does, then he will love me the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like that was number one, and then the rest were like handsome, tall, athletic,
check,
Jim Carrey looking,
check.
Just kidding. So I had that, and like. I've been praying for him, so it was a big deal. And like, I just also knew too much about your past that it was like terrifying.
That's hard. Yeah.
Anyways, but I was like low key keeping you I think I like low key like rejected you. I even told you like I don't think so.
I said we'll see.
But I'm wrestling with it because you said God said.
Yeah.
And I had to tell this to my current boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, and you even gave me a promise ring. when I didn't ask for you. The way Ryan gave me a promise ring was like, hey, I know we're not dating. I know we're not anything, but this is a promise to me that it's going to happen. Dude, this guy was so bold.
I was also spending a lot of time with Jesus, just so you know.
So bold, but you can't, like, terrified. I'm just like, what the heck? It was just making it harder for me to, like, anyways. And I remember you gave it to me, but I, like, had it just there. Like, okay, I don't know what to do with that. But, because I had 2 promise rings.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, you would text me like, hey, can we grab lunch? And I'd be like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, I was just very honest.
So I don't know if you clarified. You told both of us that you were going to stop talking to us for 2 weeks.
Well, no, not right away. At first I was like, you were persistent. And I was like, there's just a lot of baggage there. Here's the thing too, is like, you were about to become a father. I knew your history. Yeah. I also like have this history with this person. Like, it's not easy to just throw it away. Yeah. It was hard. And so anyway, but you were like pursuing me like, hey, we should grab lunch. Hey, I'd love to talk. Hey, I'd love to hang out. And I'm like, no. Like, no. There was one final one I went out to you with a friend at Olive Garden. I get this random text and it's you. And you give me this whole text about how, hey, I had a dream that we had a son named Shiloh. And I'm just like, oh my, like, first of all, we're not even dating. We're not married and we're not having a kid together and his name is not going to be Shiloh. Like, I'm just like,
oh, that's so funny.
Rejecting every single one of those things. Anyways, finally, I'm seeing how persistent you are. I have 2 guys saying, well, God showed me you're supposed to be with me. And here I am with the biggest fear of like marrying wrong. So I said, okay, I think I texted both of you. Okay, I'm going to like stop talking to both of you for 2 weeks. Clearly, I didn't know God was going to answer me in 2 weeks, but I feel like 2 weeks was just enough time where I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just to think. And I'm like, I don't want pressure from either one of you. And I'm like, I know God's not telling both of you that, so I'm going to go hear from God myself. So I fasted for 2 weeks. Like I would take a certain amount of time, like 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., depending on my work. Sometimes it was like 5 a.m. to 2 p.m., whatever. But I would devote that time and I would like stay in my room and I would pray, read my Bible, and worship. Sometimes I took a nap, depending if it was like a long, long day. But like, and I would just devote that time to just hear from God. And I would specifically be praying about this situation. Like, hey, I'm ready to commit. Hey, like, I want to do your will. I want a man who's after your own heart. And I was expressing my fears. Like, I don't want to repeat what my mom did with my dad. I don't want to repeat any of that. And I'm just giving it all to him, all my fears, my desires, like, and low key, I was like, I was trying to give him my plans. Like, well, here are my plans if you can put them in consideration, but just, I want to do your will.
Yeah.
But like, anyway, so, and like the final thing was, I remember it was towards the end of the fast and I had opened, like I prayed and then I opened my Bible. Like I even told him, like, I'm just going to open it randomly. I just want you to speak to me. Like wherever I land, I just want you to speak to me. And I like open it and it was like Corinthians, like where it speaks about what love is. Like love is patient, love is kind, love is slow to anger, like all those things. And then it also talks about how you'll know them by their fruits and all this stuff. And so as I just read that, I was also getting you guys texting me because it was towards the end, like, hey, did you get anything? Like, and I remember sharing, like, well, I had 2 very symbolic dreams where I woke up like crying, like they're very real to me. And I kind of low-key knew what God was saying, but I'm just still trying to like, well, I don't know yet. And this verse, though, was the final one. And when I shared my dreams with my boyfriend at the time, like, I remember him getting so angry. Like, you know what I mean? What the hell? Or, like, why the, like, F? Like, just mad. Why would you dream that? And it's like, I didn't plan on what to dream. I didn't, But anyways, he was mad. And it makes sense. Like, I totally understand. I was mad, too. Like, these were my plans, right?
Yeah.
So I get it. Like, he had every reason to be mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I tell you, and your thing is, well, I'm not worried because I know what God told me. And, like, just the responses and how you guys acted, like, using that verse, there was anger and, like, just like the opposite of love was his, and your reaction was like patient, kind, and just like,
yeah,
you know? And so so now I have my answer, but I'm still like in tears. Like I was in tears because I'm like, don't do this. Like I'm pleading like, dude, God, like I trusted you with the biggest trial of my life. I went to college and like fell hard, and I like came back to you, and I am so serious about you, and I've gone through hell and back, and like, can you just do this for me? Can you just like, please, like, let it be this one, like my current boyfriend? Because like I said, I had my life planned out. I don't like
change.
I hate change.
Yeah.
I don't like hurting people's feelings, and like the baggage you had and the history you had was too much for me to bear, that I'm like, I'm too scared to trust that. I'm too scared. And like, I was pleading him, like, please, please don't do this. Like, I want this. Can you please let this happen? And God was like, just leaving the ball in my court. Like, you can do whatever you want. But like, you know, you can't say you want to do my will. You can't say you want what I want and then still do this. Like, you choose what you want. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And so like, it was up to me. Like, do I want my will or his will? And his like track record and history, everything looked like great, right? He marked all the boxes. But his heart and like his fruits in his life, like, just didn't line up with what he was saying. You have a horrible history, and like, you know, but God's showing me that you have a new heart, like it's a transformed heart. And so it's like the guy that he was asking me to go with was not the same Ryan. It's a new transformed person. Like, he literally made you into the man that I was praying for.
Wow.
Yeah. And like, but I didn't know that yet.
Yeah. You had to trust.
I had to take a leap in faith.
Yeah.
And trust God. And like, I could have leaned on my own understanding. I'm like, no, I'm going this way. But God's saying, go this way, you know? And so I finally, I did. And I like ended things.
I sit back, reminisce and ponder back when I believed love was just a monster, meant to make it somber. Being told by the little boy inside my soul, love is cold, don't go down that broke road. I was 18 when she was sent from heaven, the only light in my life. She was a blessing. I was lost in my sins, she was lost in his presence. I was restless, she found rest in his essence. Her faith left me breathless, but I wasn't ready for acceptance of his message. She didn't care, to her I was another, so she kept pouring in me, praying for a miracle. Little did I know, those prayers would lead me home. He placed a passion in my bones, made himself known. I gave my life to Christ, he forever changed my life. When he told me she was Miss Right, soon to be my wife. This is true love, ever after happily. We have just begun our legacy. I thank God every day for my family. Someone pinched me, this is feeling like a dream. I'm blessed beyond belief, Lord, why me? I sing praise to my risen King, cause my family is my everything, and apart from Christ, it wouldn't be.
And I gave you a shot, and I think we dated, like, how long did we date?
May 12th, we started dating. I think I proposed June 30th.
I'm super pregnant, so I am mommy brain, and this is like,
if you didn't know, Karina's pregnant. No. Yeah, so coming soon. Anyway, I think we got engaged June 30th, and then we got married August 30th.
Yeah, I mean, we dated, got engaged, and got married, like, boom, boom, boom. And people think, like, oh, you're fast. Like, no, trust me. Like, I dated someone because that's how serious I was. But when you know it's God, and when God speaks, it just, everything just happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we had our, you know, we knew we were compatible. I think that's such an important
I did
piece.
know you as a person, and like, we were compatible. So it's not
like
you
we
were
had
just
fun,
a random
but I
stranger.
also made really bad decisions. So
yeah,
we forgot to mention that we went to prom as friends. Remember that?
We did go to prom.
We were gonna bring that up.
I had a few guys who were like friend zoned, and they asked me, but I knew that if I'd go, I don't know, it's just weird. Like, they think we're more, and it's just, I just didn't want to. So I asked Ryan to go with me just because I knew
I wouldn't be.
I knew we were friends, and I'm like, we can just go and I can have a good time. And
Ryan, did you have a good time, Karina?
Ryan decides to like pop a ecstasy pill. I didn't know about it. But he did in the bathroom, and then he comes out and he has a tie around his head, jumping up and down.
Yeah, and I also didn't dance with you very much.
No, it was terrible.
Sorry.
No, it was.
Sorry about that, baby.
It was terrible.
We dance now. It's okay.
There's a lot more to the story. Maybe ask us personally, but so it was terrible. But it's nice that we have prom pictures together. I guess.
Do.
We don't need to tell the kids the other stuff.
We look good in black for sure. So anyway, that's our story, and I think the theme of that I love is like even there at the end. Are you willing to do his will? Because like you didn't know how it was going to turn out. You didn't know. I mean, trust me, like I had a history, as you said, but looking now, like even over the last 2 months since all this has come together with Life Upside Down, like we're just reminiscing on the last 13 years of our life, which we are going to get into some more in coming episodes. But it's like, we wouldn't change it for anything, right, Karina?
No, I wouldn't change it for anything. And honestly, I feel like God's plans are way better than my own. It's just that leap of faith is like the hardest thing. And I think there's this like deceitful saying that the world says like follow your heart.
Yeah.
Ugh, it drives me nuts because like your heart is it's like a fleshly, sinful organ. It's like it wants what
feels good.
Yeah,
really,
and it's like it's so deceitful because it's like I get to some extent feelings are there, right? To help us like like to use, but they're not like they shouldn't be the main source of direction because they can deceive you. Like I've been so mad where I want to go and like punch somebody. Should I follow my heart and do that? No.
Probably not.
Like you have to be discerning and put other factors into play. So it's like, why would that be any different with like following feelings for people? Like, oh no, this one's for real now.
Yeah.
And then you like get tired of them or, I'm going to go chase. It's like, no, you can't do that. It has to be a constant choice, there's times where we would get in fights and you would tell me like, I don't feel like I like you right now.
Yeah.
Like I have every right to be mad at you, but I'm going to choose to love you.
We'll definitely.
Because, and I feel like that helped me so much. Like, oh, wow, okay, I'm a total brat and he still loves me. And then I would put my walls down but like most people would just move on to the next person. So
we end up getting married August 30th, 2013. I just remember like we were so excited. I know for me as a newly wed, I was just like, oh yeah, this is great. Like we're always gonna be in love. Like how could this go wrong? But then I want to say pretty quickly we realized like this wasn't gonna be easy, and we even started to question like, did we make a mistake?
Yeah.
This story is far from over, so make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you're not left hanging. Next episode, we're going to be back with our guest and Waypoint pastor, Tyler Schinzel, to hear his story of redemption.